Today I wanted to talk to you about something that's been on my mind. I was reading the newspaper the other day, and there was an article about another teenager who took her life. It was surrounding a pending case where she was trying to file charges against someone who, as the news says, allegedly sexually assaulted her. And I guess for many reasons, from being bullied and taunted about this case at school, she took her own life. And I don't know if you've been reading the news recently to know that for the last few weeks or months, there had been a lot of bullying towards people who are same-sex oriented, and an alarming number of people were taking their own lives from being bullied. I talked a little bit about this in a post and in a past video, but this also isn't anything new. Earlier this year, I think back in April, there was a high school student who took her own life because she was being bullied by students at her school. They just were attacking her character, and if you look at the statistics about suicide and depression and bullying, it's through the roof. This issue also touches home because in May, one of my closest friends, her 15-year-old sister took her own life. I mean, she was only 15 years old. Do you realize how young that is? And I have a 16-year-old sister, and I have a 15-year-old brother, and I also have an 11-year-old sister and a 6-year-old sister. But I have a sister who's around the same age as this close friend of mine, and even though I've dealt with loss, I've had close friends pass away and family pass away from all sorts of things, from cancer to heart attacks to car crashes, the list could go on. I had not encountered yet a situation where someone I knew who was only 15 years old took her own life. To add to this, if you read my blog, you know I talk about many things, especially my own life. And in it I mentioned how for years I suffered from depression and suicidal thoughts and even suicidal attempts. So I know what it's like to go through those feelings. And thank goodness that's not where I'm at in my life today, through healing and friends and things like that. But so I was reading this article, and I was thinking on the train, I was like, what do we do? Like, because I don't want to get another friend calling me saying that a family member took their own life. Like, I don't want anybody else near me taking their own life. And I was like, so what can I do? Do I make a video? Do I write blog posts for a week about embracing life and how it gets better, and like what? But then I was like, remembering when I was in college and I was depressed, having these dark days, moments away from trying to end my life, did it occur to me, oh, I should go to YouTube and watch a video. Maybe that'll help. Nah, maybe some people, but I wasn't Googling help me because I was hopeless at the time. So I was like, what do I do to reach these people? Because what if they're not Googling, I want help? More than likely, they're Googling how can I kill myself, if we're being honest? And sure, you type that in and a couple of these cliche religious websites come up, but at least from my experience, when I did find those websites, I just clicked the little X. Like, you spotted them right away and you're like, this is some BS. I'm not trying to hear this right now. So I kept saying, what can I do? Because I have younger siblings and I have friends, and I know that people are going through hard times right now, whether it's financial issues, or they're trying to find a job, or they're depressed, or we all have these things. They're being bullied. And then I thought about what helped me when I was depressed and on the verge of suicide. Well, right there, because I'd been trying. There was a friend of mine who, she didn't even know I was depressed. I told her years later, once I had healed. She was just a friend of mine in college. And I remember one of my dark, horrible days where I just wanted to just be done with it. I was walking outside. I was actually going to a place to end my life. I remember this clear as day. And as I was going there, I passed her on the sidewalk. And she was like, hey, Sheena, how are you? And I'm like, oh, I'm fine. I'm just going for a walk. And she said, oh, I'm headed to the Stoop. The Stoop was like the local coffee house on our college campus. And she was like, do you want to come get ice cream with me? Because I know you like bubblegum ice cream. And I was like, yeah, I'll go with you. I'm thinking, I don't know, in my mind, I'm like, okay, well, I could kill myself later, but right now I could go eat some good ice cream. And I did. I went to get ice cream with her. While we were having ice cream, as we were discussing our classes and our schedules, we realized we were actually in 2 classes together that semester. But I guess we just never really paid attention. And so, as we were leaving the coffee house, she said, I'll see you in class tomorrow. And I said, okay. And she was like, and maybe we can grab ice cream again. Okay. And I don't know, my focus changed for that day, because I thought, you know what, I'm going to see her in class tomorrow. And I'll have ice cream with her. And for that time being, that is what saved me, going to get ice cream with her. So what am I trying to say? I guess it changed my focus. Like, at the time, all I would do, I would rehash these dark thoughts over in my mind. I spent a lot of time by myself. I would listen to this depressing music. I would write these dark things in my journal, and no one knew. I wasn't talking to anyone about this. And this random friend of mine just happened to pass me by the street, and she said, hey, come get ice cream with me. And it distracted me. It was just a small gesture. And the whole time for the rest of that school year, again, I never told her anything that was going on with me, that I was depressed, that I was having these hard times dealing with my past. I didn't tell her any of this. We would just talk about classes, about boys, about theater. So, that made me think that rather than doing videos encouraging people, which I'll do, and more than just posting blogs about hope, and just go talk to somebody. That friend you haven't called in a while, your younger sibling, the person at work, just say hi and go get coffee with them. Don't try to fix them. Don't try to indoctrinate them with your religion. Don't, just have ice cream with them. Talk about the weather, or call them and say, hey, I was just thinking about you. That's what I think we should do. I think there are many solutions to this epidemic of suicide. But I think one of the smallest but most powerful ways we can address this is just by talking to the person next to us. Even if it's just asking them to come have coffee with you or have ice cream with you. And not talking at them, just talking with them. So that's what I want to be intentional about looking people in their eye and saying hello, just engaging them, because what this does is it takes them out of their mind with all these crazy thoughts, and it forces them to be present. I can't, unfortunately, I can't do anything about my friend's younger sister who took her life. Like, I don't know. Like, I remember the day it happened, or the day before. I remember my sister's on Facebook, and I posted on her Facebook, hey, how are you? I love you. You're beautiful. You're silly. You're my favorite. Like, I don't know why. Like, it wasn't even anything that prompted that. I just did it. And I remember thinking days after I found out about Tinu, I was like, what if I just taken a moment to do the same thing with her? What if I had just Facebooked her and said, hey, or text her? And again, I can't change what happened, unfortunately, but it forces me to be intentional now. So please, go have ice cream with somebody and just chit chat. I think for some people it can make a huge difference. And if you're someone watching this video who is going through a lot right now and you can't see past the pain, I know people give scriptures and they say it gets better. Yeah, and sometimes it gets worse again, then it gets better, then you have another crappy day. Just, I would say, don't even think about anything right now. Just breathe. Just breathe. Inhale and exhale. Sometimes breathing can make a huge difference. And I hope that you know that no matter what you're going through, if you want, you can thrive past it. Trust me. I've come up from a background of depression. I've lost so many close friends and family. I am a survivor of childhood sexual abuse. I mean, I've had a very full life with some heavy issues. And I guess I realized at some point I just wanted to live. Breathe. And go eat ice cream.